Today we want to go out and explore the old town square, and we hope to find the underground dungeon. Hi, Michelle here from Travelling Over 60. Come join me on this adventure. Here's our map again, and we're in Prague for 3 days. This is day 2 of our stay in Prague. Now, you might want to go back and have a look at day 1 when we went and saw the astronomical clock and did the tour behind the clock and the tower. Now, let's take a look at the weather. So it's going to get up to 29 degrees today. So we just have on shorts, t-shirts, I just have a dress on, good walking shoes, and don't forget your hats and sunglasses. We always make sure we've got sunscreen on. Now, if you follow me all the time, you know I love to research. So before I left Australia, I researched things to do in Prague. And this came up. It's the Old Town Medieval Underground and Dungeon History Tour. Now, that really appealed to me. So we went looking to see where it was, and it's not far from the astronomical clock. So, of course, we're going to go out today, buy tickets, and go and have a look. Okay, let's take a look at it on the map. So we're staying at the Almanac X. Walking out of the hotel, we'll go to the bottom of the street, turn left, and head down towards where the astronomical clock was. Now, as we walk down, we'll veer off a little bit to the left somehow and purchase our tickets, and that's where the tour starts. But first, we're going to have a good hearty breakfast to give us plenty of energy for all this walking we're going to do. Come out of the lift, and then breakfast. Check in. Here we are at breakfast. That's our table for two. Nice cozy seats. And let me see, oh, so comfy. Now I love a cozy seat, but these were so cozy that I sunk down so low that I felt like my cup of tea was right under my chin. So from here on in, we'll be sitting at a table with upright chairs, not lounges. And speaking of tea, we got a pot of ginger lemon honey tea to start the day. Let's take a look at what's for breakfast. Oh, they've got a beautiful selection with the buffet. But you could order a la carte as well. Big selection of breads, cereal. And a selection of hot foods. I'll just show you over the top. You can discover that for yourself. Okay. And a lovely selection of juices. And speedy service. I only had time to go up and video what's on the buffet, and my order had already come off the a la carte. This is eggs royal. Now you know it's all about how the eggs are cooked. Let's take a look. Now that's perfect for me. Breakfast is done, so let's head off and see if we can get these tickets for the underground dungeon. Now, we left the hotel and walked to the end of the street and went left. Walked all the way down as if we were going to the astronomical clock. I've showed that in the previous video. If you haven't seen it, you might like to go and have a look. Now, there's lots of these little alleyways where you can walk down and find tickets for all sorts of things. This is how we walked, right down here from the hotel, and that's how we went to the astronomical clock. If you wanted to buy tickets for this underground dungeon, we left the hotel, we walked the same way. You can see this street name on the right-hand side. We turned left and then walked down a small alleyway where we could buy the tickets. Now, if you happen to keep walking towards the astronomical clock, once you reach it, turn left and then the first little alleyway come back up the other way. Now, some of these places are a bit tricky to find. Let me show you the one for the dungeon. You can't even notice it. We nearly walked past it. It's just a doorway and it has a sign on it, ticket office. And it did close at certain times, but there'll be a sign on the door. We walked past when it was closed and came back at the time it said it was opening. We bought our tickets. Now we have to fill in time till our tour starts. Okay, so here's the clock. And I just want to show you we're standing in the middle. So just looking all the way around. How beautiful. Going around. All the way around back to where the clock is. And there's plenty of people in this centre that are selling tours and I think there was like a horse and cart and things like that, things to do. So let's take a look at a few of them. Here is the horse and cart. And you can see around the centre there's plenty of seating. There's a little train ride, and if I zoom in, we should be able to see the sign here. 1 hour trip starting at 10. We also saw some vintage cars that people were riding around in, and that was down one of the side streets. Okay, I'm being drawn to this church by those bells. The more I hear the bells ring, the more I want to explore this church. Now, we're not sure if you can go inside or not, but I'm going to go across and have a look. So if you see across the courtyard there, you can see those archways. We're going there. And we see this sign. So it's the Tyn Church. And yes, you can go inside. Let's go have a look. Oh no, do you see that sign? No photography. They were letting us take a few photos here, but there was a lot of people. So this is the best I could do to show you. And you know what that means? You'll have to come and discover it for yourself. Okay, let's head outside. So you come out of the church and we're going to walk down this corridor. And down the corridor is some toilets. Now, if you're using the bathrooms here, it costs 20 of their money, and that's what it looks like. Hang on, we'll turn it over. So it looks like that. Yeah, but otherwise, that's the little gap to go in, and we're going to keep going. Okay, we've made our way back out into that centre square. And I can see another church over there that I think I want to go and have a look at. Okay, so this is St. Nicholas Church, and I'm pretty sure I can see people going in through that doorway, so we're going up to have a look. Yes, you can go inside and have a look, and it's free. Oh, by the way, the Tyn Church, that was free as well. But when we're leaving these churches, especially if they're free, we always make sure that we leave a little donation or we buy a souvenir. Let's go inside and have a look because we can take photos in this one. Warren wants me to look up. Let's show you. Wow. Oh my lordy, how beautiful. Let's just take a little bit of a closer look at that chandelier. Now I know I'm showing you, but there's nothing like seeing this for yourself. Oh, I so wish I could hear music out of this organ. Well, it's not really organ music, but enjoy these sneak peeks of St. Nicholas Church. Well, that music reflected how we were feeling when we walked through here. So we took a moment and we took a couple of selfies. Okay, so both of those churches, when we had a quick look around, we took some photos and it took about 40 minutes. Now we still have about half an hour to fill in and it's lunchtime. So let's go over and have a look at this shop called Old Prague Ham. There was so many people around it, we thought we'd try it. Now, not everybody wants to be videoed, and this shopkeeper didn't want to, and I respect that. But that was just a quick shot of the sausages that he sells, and then we came across his ham. Now, one thing you need to know about this shop is when you buy it by weight, and you'll end up with just a chunk of ham. Piece of bread, you put your own toppings on it. It might look rustic, but boy, was it delicious. We also got some of their potatoes, onion and ham, and that was way better than the ham itself. Belly's full. It's time to go into the dungeon. Okay, so here's the clock. Now we're about to go and see the medieval underground. Now we walked in from the back way, which I've already shown you. And this is showing you from the clock. This was a little bit easier way. But if you're walking around looking at everything, it doesn't really matter because you're going to probably walk up this lane and have a little bit of a look anyway. Okay, straight up here. Sounds of Prague. There's shops all the way along. Clothes, souvenirs. Okay, now see there's a little bit of carpet. This is where we've got to go. Up this little alleyway. We pick up our tickets and then we'll be off. Now I'm not sure if they let you take photos, but if they do, I'll take some for you. So we've headed out on our medieval tour. Sorry for the close-up.
And we are walking to the first spot.
Okay, in through the door and down some stairs, and we're underground in the dungeon. As you can see up there, that light is where the street level is. Looking at the ground, it's all rough stone. Now, this company also does ghost tours, so it's staged everywhere you look. There's lots of props around and lots of lighting to make it look very spooky. You will come across some spots that's dark, and there will be stairs. There's also 3 buildings. We're moving on to the next. And of course, our guide is giving us history lessons as well. There'll also be some big chunky doors to go through and some tiny little ones where you'll duck. But let's take a look at these stairs. They're very steep. Enough of the practical stuff. Let's have a look at some of this staging. Just a sneak peek though. Now that was a lot of fun. There was lots of stories that came along the way, and he also told us lots of history. So for you to find any of that out, you have to come and do this for yourself. But it's not over yet. We still have one more building to go through. Another huge door to go through. Oh wait, cue the music. Okay, he tells us this is where the fun begins. I'm not sure they're having much fun. All these guys, for that matter. Okay, we're going in to play a game. Wheel of Fortune. And he needs some volunteers. Okay, hubby and I'll do it. Let's take a closer look at that wheel. Sword, hammer, fire, wheel, rats. It's a wheel of deaths, and hubby has spun up death by rats. I think there's a spell on my wheel because it kept spinning and spinning and spinning. And everybody's always told me I'm a witch. Was it that? Anyway, I spun up fire, so burn me at the stake. Oh, I'm so glad that this wasn't my fate. That looks like hubby at the gate saying, "Let me out of here." And so the tour came to an end. We made our way back up the stairs and outside. Well, if you want to know what we thought of this tour, we had so much fun. We laughed, it was full of history, and it was a really great tour, well worth the money. You only have to be able to do the stairs and be okay with being underground and in the dark sometimes. Not pitch black, but it was dark in places. Now, for us, we've got to start and get back to the hotel, get ready, because we're about to join our tour, meet our tour guide and our fellow travellers. And while hubby was getting ready, he tried out his new brush from Emirates.
How's that feel?
Perfect.
Our APT Magnificent Europe with Paris and Prague has officially begun. We went down into the lobby and found where the meeting room was and went and met everybody for a drink, and we also had a briefing on how the tour was going to work. Now, after that briefing, we went out on a walk with the tour guide to familiarise yourself with Prague. But we were already familiar with it because we've been here for 2 days. But we did join them and we did find a few things we hadn't seen. Let's take a look at what we found. So we left the hotel out the front and then walked down the street. You can see that in a previous video that I posted that was the room tour and around the hotel. Now we came down to where this arcade is and we walked in through this arcade to the other side, which also will take you down to where the astronomical clock is. You can also find the cinema in this arcade and some interesting statues. I'm not sure why, but there it is. Also in this arcade is a little cafe, and we didn't stop there, but others did and said the coffee was really quite good. Coming out the other side of that arcade and we turned right, and this sign here is for the pharmacy. We continued to the end of this street, then we turned left, heading back down towards where the astronomical clock is. Now, this is where the tour guide left us so that we could explore for ourselves, but he did give us some instructions on how to walk down to where the Charles Bridge is. And in my research, they say it's a great place to be when the sun's setting. So let's go take a look. Now, if you're planning on walking down to where the bridge is, it's probably about a 30-minute walk from where our hotel was. And if we walk down the way that we went along the water's edge, it was really lovely. Pretty little park over to the right, and we just took our time as we walked along. We finally made it to the bridge and started to walk along to the other side. And here's a warning for you, there was a lot of people there. But once you make it on the bridge, the views are just amazing. And of course we took some selfies to remember that moment. Oh, and come down with plenty of time before the sunset because there's entertainment all the way along the bridge. Let's listen. The closer we got to sunset, the more people that arrived. The bridge was packed. But we'd all come for the same thing. We wanted to see that magical sunset. And as the gas lights came on one by one along the bridge, all the cameras came out and started taking these amazing photos of this sunset. And as the lights of the buildings came on, we decided to head back to the hotel. We'd had a big day. Now, we just realised we hadn't had dinner. And you might know in a previous video, we showed you where KFC is, just at the bottom of the street where the hotel is. So it was dark, we were hungry, we were tired, and yep, we stopped and had KFC in Prague. And yes, the burgers are all the same, all over the world. Coming up in our next video, we're going off to Prague Castle, our first excursion, and you don't want to miss that. So hopefully you've subscribed to my channel. And did you like this video? If you did, you know what to do. Give me a thumbs up. Share it with your friends. Leave me a comment or a question. I really appreciate your support.